Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel Consumer Times. Today we talk about standards and their importance with a detailed overview of mandatory standards and the authorities in India. Before we talk further, please like, share and do not forget to subscribe our channel to motivate us. The standards are defined sets of guidelines, specifications, and criteria that establish the rules for products, services, or processes. They ensure consistency, quality, and safety across industries and sectors. Standards play a vital role in modern economies, ensuring that products, services, and systems are fit for their intended purpose, are of good quality, and are safe for use by consumers. These guidelines or benchmarks are generally developed by authoritative bodies and are either voluntary or mandatory. Standards protect consumers by ensuring that products meet essential safety requirements. This is especially important in industries such as food, healthcare, and transportation, where a failure to meet safety standards could have severe consequences. When consumers see a product that complies with recognized standards, they feel confident that it has been rigorously tested and meets certain quality and safety benchmarks. Standards act as a quality check for products and services. Whether it's food quality, electronic gadgets, or industrial machinery, standards help to define quality expectations. They ensure that a product or service meets customer satisfaction levels, thus reducing the chances of malfunction or failure. Standards play a significant role in facilitating trade, both domestically and internationally. When a product adheres to recognized standards, it is easier for businesses to trade across borders, as it meets the quality and safety expectations of different markets. International standards, such as those set by the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, help businesses operate smoothly in the global marketplace. By providing a clear framework, standards help in encouraging innovation and development. They establish a common language between industries, fostering the growth of new technologies and solutions. For example, standards in the telecommunications industry have driven the development of mobile networks, from 3G to 4G and now 5G. Governments around the world use standards to ensure that businesses and industries operate in a manner that is safe and ethical. In many cases, adherence to certain standards is legally required, and failure to comply can lead to penalties. Standards ensure that industries follow specific regulations that protect the environment, ensure safety, and maintain public health. Standards help minimize environmental harm by establishing guidelines for sustainable practices. For example, there are standards for waste management, energy efficiency, and sustainable agriculture that help industries reduce their environmental footprint. Voluntary standards are those that industries and businesses can choose to adopt but are not legally required to follow. These standards are often established by organizations like the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, and they help businesses ensure quality, improve safety, and gain consumer trust. Many businesses choose to follow voluntary standards to remain competitive in the market and demonstrate their commitment to quality. Mandatory standards are legally enforced, meaning that industries must comply with them to operate in a specific sector. These are typically government-imposed regulations to ensure public safety, environmental protection, and fair trade practices. In India, as well as in many other countries, failure to comply with mandatory standards can result in severe penalties, including fines and business closures. In India, several sectors have mandatory standards that industries must follow to operate legally. These standards ensure that products and services are safe for public use, are of high quality, and meet both national and international benchmarks. Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI. The FSSAI is the regulatory body responsible for ensuring food safety in India. It sets standards for food products to ensure that they are safe for consumption and are of high quality. The FSSAI establishes mandatory regulations for food businesses, including manufacturers, restaurants, and food service providers. Some of the critical standards include the use of safe ingredients, proper labeling, and hygiene standards. The Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS, is India's national standards body that plays a significant role in formulating, maintaining, and enforcing standards across various sectors. BIS operates under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, food and public distribution, and its primary function is to ensure the quality, safety, and reliability of products available in the Indian market. BIS standards are mandatory for many industries, including consumer goods, like electrical appliances, construction materials, chemicals, and food products. The hallmark of BIS standards is the ISI mark, which indicates that a product has been tested and meets the required safety standards. In some cases, it is illegal to sell certain products in India without the ISI mark. Examples include pressure cookers, helmets, and bottled water. Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, APDA. APDA is responsible for the development and promotion of export standards in the agricultural and processed food sectors. While APDA mainly focuses on exports, the body plays a critical role in setting standards to ensure the quality of Indian agricultural products meets global benchmarks. For environmental standards, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the principal body responsible for formulating policies and enforcing regulations. The ministry sets mandatory standards for waste management, emission controls, and the use of hazardous substances. The ministry works in coordination with bodies like the Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, to monitor and enforce these standards. The DGCA is the regulatory authority overseeing the civil aviation industry in India. It establishes mandatory safety standards for aircraft, aircrew, and airline operations, ensuring that the Indian aviation industry meets international standards for safety and efficiency. The TRAI regulates the telecommunications industry in India. It is responsible for setting standards that ensure the quality, safety, and reliability of telecommunications services. TRAI also enforces mandatory guidelines to protect consumer rights, regulate tariffs, and promote competition within the telecom sector. The automotive sector in India must adhere to mandatory standards set by the Automotive Industry Standards Committee, AISC, which works in conjunction with the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. These standards govern vehicle safety, emissions, and fuel efficiency. Compliance with these standards is mandatory for all vehicles sold in India, and they are regularly updated to reflect advancements in technology and environmental concerns. In India, various bodies are responsible for creating and enforcing standards, often depending on the sector they regulate. These include both government agencies and specialized regulatory bodies. The BIS is the National Standards Authority in India, responsible for developing and enforcing standards across multiple industries. It has the authority to certify products, ensuring they meet the necessary safety and quality standards. BIS standards may be either mandatory or voluntary, depending on the product. FSSAI is responsible for setting and enforcing food safety standards across the country. It operates under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and has the authority to regulate food businesses, ensuring that they adhere to mandatory safety standards. The FSSAI also monitors food labeling and packaging to protect consumers from fraudulent claims and unsafe practices. TRAI oversees the telecommunications sector in India, ensuring that telecom services meet quality standards, maintain transparency, and safeguard consumer interests. CPCB works under the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change to implement environmental standards related to pollution, waste management, and emissions. The CPCB monitors compliance and can take enforcement actions against entities that fail to meet environmental standards. The DGCA sets standards for aviation safety and ensures that airlines, airports, and related services adhere to them. Compliance with these standards is mandatory for all aviation-related activities in India. We can say that the standards are the backbone of a well-regulated society, ensuring that products and services are safe, reliable, and of high quality. In India, a complex framework of regulatory bodies and mandatory standards protects consumers and ensures fair trade practices across various sectors. By adhering to these standards, businesses can gain consumer trust, operate efficiently, and contribute to national and international trade. Thanks a lot for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to give you valuable comment and do not forget press subscribe button to motivate us.